All right, folks. So we're going to jump into the main topic here, and again, we're talking about um, backup options, right? Things to back up your photos and videos from your phone, so um, you don't lose anything. You don't lose any of those precious memories. So I want to take a lesson that I've learned about myself in episode 20, and I'm not going to jam pack this episode with so many details, right? We're not gonna we're not gonna rush through take it easy the top half and you know what I mean, talk everything through and then rush through the bottom half of the show just to try to get everything in. So we're going to take a simple approach. We're going to do an easy, moderate, and complex approach to these things. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So I would say the easiest thing is going to be your cloud backup. Now, there's the same option that's built into all devices, whether it's Android, iPhone, some other platform that you're using. They all have some version of cloud backup, right? That's just kind of a, a basic feature, right? A kind of a factory feature now that comes with these devices. But we're going to focus on iCloud. Like we said from the beginning, Greg and I are both Apple guys. We pay for a bunch of these service monthly and things like that. So we're going to focus on iCloud, but you have some kind of version of this on Android, on um, the other ones. I don't know. I can't think of any other ones right now. So let's jump into it. So iCloud is simple, right? It's built into the phone. It's like that old infomercial, right? You set it and you forget it, right? Once you have it turned on, and basically all it's going to do is whenever you're connected to Wi-Fi, you're charging. It's going to back up all of your camera roll along with other settings too. You know, the good thing about iCloud is that it's not just your photos and videos and pictures that you take, but also other settings and stuff on your phone. It's all stored in Apple's clouds on their servers, somewhere else in the world, not on your device. And the good thing about it is free at the base level, right? You get 5 gigabytes for free. It goes all the way up to 12 terabytes for $60, which is a crazy amount, a crazy amount of
This is per
storage, right?
month, right? 12
Per
terabytes
month,
per month.
$60 a month. So again, 5 gigabytes for free, which is good for most people, most general users. I pay for the next level, which is 199 for a terabyte. So yeah, really affordable plans. And even if you found yourself needing 12 terabytes of storage, $60 is still an affordable plan, right? If you needed that much space,
Yeah,
and you'll
and
see why
you
later.
asked about my mom, right? So
Hmm.
she had gotten to the point where she needed to go from the free up to
Okay,
that next
which
tier.
was yeah,
So
$2 a month. You know.
yeah, and that wasn't a problem. She didn't have a problem paying that, and I was just going in to see, um, wanted to kind of see how much storage that actually accounted to. Um, let's see what it pulls up here. But so she did
Hmm.
that. Now this is the one. While I'm looking that up, it's actually 99 cents a month for 50 gigabytes. So
Oh, right. I missed that one.
yeah,
I missed that one. So yeah, I went to the third level then.
99 cents a month for 50 gigabytes, 2.99 a month for 200 gigabytes. Now I will tell you that my photo library has every photo I've ever taken from on my phone, as well as all the screenshots and a lot of video and stuff that we do for this podcast. And
Hmm.
I have a 100 gigabyte photo library. Now,
Right.
I know podcasters that have huge, massive
Right.
photo libraries. So fine, right? So that's what you can do. But this is the one when I mentioned earlier that if you don't fiddle with Apple's settings, this is going to solve your most of your problem. Because the only
Right.
time, and I don't want to be an alarmist here because this doesn't happen that often, but the only way you would lose access to these photos is if you deleted them for some reason, which it's really hard to do because it tells you multiple times you're about to delete them. And
Right.
two, if you somehow lost access to your iCloud account, to your Apple ID, right? If somehow
Right.
you lost access to that, like luckily I had my mom's password when she passed, right? So I was able to get in and get all of that kind of stuff. But we've talked about this, you can set a legacy person that can get access to all your data, which would include your photos. So this is the option that if you don't fiddle with Apple's stuff, you're going to get this. And if you start to run out of storage in the cloud and it says, hey, you're approaching the limit on your storage. Do you want to upgrade to the next tier? You
Hmm.
have to decide if you just want to hit that yes and pay 99 cents a month to go to 200 or to go to 50 gigabytes,
Right.
or the $3 to go to 200 gigabytes and say, yes, I'm going to do that every month. Or listen for the other options that you may have if you don't want to pay Apple any
Hmm.
more money. But they need to up the bottom tier on this, right? 5 gigabytes
I
should,
was hoping they did. Yep, I was
yeah.
hoping they did with the
Well,
last one,
and they
the
just
last
raised
update.
prices on all their subscriptions, not on cloud storage, but on all their other subscriptions. Like I get this as part of my Premiere, my Apple Premiere
Hmm.
stuff. They just raised those prices by $5 a month. So this is the default one. So, like for my
Right.
mom, she didn't even ask me to upgrade to that. She just got a message that said, "Hey, you're running out of storage space in the cloud. Do you want to upgrade?" And it told her what she needed and why, and she did it and moved on. So,
Right.
if you don't fiddle with it, by the way, that's a quote from a movie called McHale's Navy. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
No, I
Really good
haven't seen that
movie,
one.
but he's talking about his Harley. He's asking the guy to fix it, and he said, "Well, if you wouldn't fiddle with it, I wouldn't have to fix it." And he said, "Well, if you would fix it, I wouldn't have to fiddle with it." So it's just back
Right.
and forth, right?
Right.
So if you don't fiddle with it, this is what you're going to get, right? So
Yeah.
all of my family members are on this. So
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons with this. So on the pro side, it saves all of the video formats that you create, right? Of course, Apple makes it, it has to work with all of their formats. So it may not sound like this is important, but I'm going to give you some more details on this later. This is going to come up again. So, again, easiest method, make sure everything works and you view it exactly the way it's intended to be viewed. Use this option. Again, set it and forget it. Once you get all of those settings set the way you want them, you tick all of those boxes. And again, you don't have to be tech savvy. This is the most easiest. All you have to do is read, follow the instructions. Like Greg said, a bunch of prompts will pop up. Hey, you're out of space. You want to do this? Do you want to do that? You hadn't backed up your phone in 3 weeks or something. Do you want to add more storage or whatever? As long as you can read those prompts and follow through, you'll be fine. You'll be able to set this up. So again, set it and forget it. You can share this across multiple devices and with your family as well, right? My wife and kids, we all share the storage. I said we had the 200 gigabytes. We all share between us. Well, I say that, except for my son. I don't want my iCloud storage full of just selfies and pictures of his friends and stuff at school because that eats up space a lot really quick. So, but you have that option. You can share that across, family members. If you have a three device family, and everybody has their phones, and mom and dad have their iPads or whatever, you can share storage across all of those. All of those devices will be backed up.
I've got four of my family members. So the two
Hmm.
boys, Dustin, Wyatt, Karen, myself, and my mom's stuff. So five actually, all on the same plan. So
Right.
it's not only backing up all of our photos, but everything else associated with our devices, right? We all have iPads and iPhones, and I, of course, have a Mac. So all of that kind of stuff. I'm on the two
Right.
terabyte storage plan, which is what I get with my big subscription. And we haven't even used half of it.
Right. Right. That is a lot of space. That's why, the 12 terabytes is like it's crazy. It's crazy how much space that is. But
Yeah.
so, and the main pro is it works how it's advertised, right? It just works. It's one of those things that Apple, we used to always say, it just works. It works really good. So until you run out of space, of course, that's a whole nother issue. But again, you get those prompts. You're out of space. Do you want to go to the next level, or do you want to delete some stuff? So follow those prompts, and you can't go wrong with that. So some of the cons I have listed here is that you will run out of space, right? Um, when you're talking about adding more families, now Greg mentioned that they'd use half of their space, but I have to manage my space. We're again on the 200 gigabytes. I still have to manage that space. Now, a good thing, and this is a totally separate thing. I don't want to confuse anyone, but they have a thing called HomeKit Secure Video. So any cameras that you have that records security cameras, it doesn't take up space from your iCloud storage plan. So I have my front door camera, but there's multiple very expensive cameras out there that you can buy. And basically, as long as you're paying for one of these, the premium plans, all of that storage is free. So you can
Yeah.
record, a week or so of video, and it won't count towards your space. But um, manage that accordingly. However much space you need, if you're taking a ton of photos or whatever, just get the plan that's right for you,
And I like
and
your next con here,
that'll work.
Jason, because I think this is why
Right.
this is why it, I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, how do you recommend I do this?" I would just say, "Let Apple deal with it." And this next one is
Right.
why, even though it's a price thing. Go ahead. I want to hear how you
Yeah.
put this.
So cost wise, and you have to remember this, you're paying for convenience as well as the storage. And that's not the most cost effective way to go about things, right? Paying for convenience, like I said, everything we mentioned, set it and forget it. Make sure you have the right things. You'll be prompted whenever you run out of space. Do you want more space? Do you want more? You're paying for all of that convenience. And it's not the most cost effective thing. Like I said, I'm paying the $2 a month, no, the 2.99 for 200 gigabytes. That's, less than a terabyte of storage, and it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. And I go with a different option. I'll tell you why I chose that as a go between. But yeah, so the convenience
Yep.
is
And for 99.9% of my clients, this is what they should do. Right? They
right.
should just hey, I'm running out of storage. Well, which tier are you on? Can you afford the next tier? Or do you want to
Yep.
delete stuff? And they say, I don't want to delete anything because I don't know if I want it, which totally understand, especially when it comes to
Right.
photos. Fine, just pay for the next tier.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, yeah, and again, we went through the costs here in North America. You get the 50 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, all the way up to 2 terabytes, 6 terabytes, all the way up to 12 terabytes, and it goes from free basically to the $60, $65 a month, and that's that's pretty steep. But again, if you're paying for 12 terabytes, then you need it. So
Yeah.